Crosby, we just heard details of a new professorship in wheat breeding at the University of Guelph. An exciting day here. Talk about that partnership with SECAN and Grain Farmers of Ontario and how it's going to work.
Sure. Yeah, so it is an exciting day. Today we're announcing the partnership between Grain Farmers of Ontario, SECAN, and the University of Guelph to create a new tenure-track faculty position that will be here in Guelph in the Department of Plant Agriculture. And that new position will be focused on developing new genetics and varieties of winter wheat specifically for the growing conditions in Ontario, where we grow about 1 million acres of wheat per year in a very specific type of climate surrounded by the Great Lakes that require specific genetics that work in our environment.
Now talk about the timelines. You've got a search committee, or you're going to do a search, you're going to find that person. When are they going to be in place?
Yes, so there's a search committee formed, and the job posting will be going out any time now, so the search is on. And so it will be a wide search, an open search for a professorship level candidate that will apply and go through a fairly rigorous selection process here at the University of Guelph. And we're hoping to have that person in the position by early 2014.
So this is a very important announcement for farmers in Ontario today. Over the past number of years, we've seen a decline through retirement of researchers who are working in the public spectrum, working on development of wheat genetics. So this is a very important announcement for us today. We saw a real need to invest in this initiative, and it's very exciting to be able to do it with industry partners because here in Ontario we have a unique climate as compared to some other wheat growing regions in the country. So we need varieties developed for Ontario that are adaptable to us and our growing conditions here. So very exciting announcement today.
Quentin, talk about why you're involved and why it's important for SECAN to be involved.
SECAN needs to be involved in a project like this because wheat is a significant crop in Ontario. It's third largest crop. It's large, but it also has some intricacies about it. There's smaller aspects. For example, soft white is now a small piece of that, but it's still an important piece of the bigger pie. An organization like SECAN can be involved and assist in delivering genetics, new genetics, and so for SECAN to invest at the front end makes a lot of sense.
And the size of the Ontario market, it's not a big market, so I think a lot of the players need to be involved to make something like this happen. Is that right?
On average, we're talking about 1 million acres of wheat in Ontario per annum, but that's big enough to involve a number of players certainly on the seed side, on the genetic improvement side.
Talk about certified seed. Obviously, it is the key to investment. It's the key to plant breeding. How does something like this support and tie into certified seed?
So in order for funds to come back through to drive more plant breeding and varieties, you need to have that royalty collection stream. And sometimes I say SECAN's a little bit like iTunes or Amazon, where we gain access to the varieties, make them available to our members, and then the members propagate the seed, sell the seed, and then SECAN collects the royalty back on that seed to then be able to make further investments into variety development through the developers of those varieties. So it's critical to the whole piece because ultimately the certified seed is the document, it's the thing that brings the dollars back through to keep the whole pipeline full.
Talk a little bit about, as I say, how this thing comes together from a University of Guelph perspective, where this person's going to fit in, and the resources that are going to be at their disposal.
Sure, yeah. Well, we have active breeding programs in our department in corn and soybean, forages. Our cereals breeder, Dwayne Falk, retired in 2011, and that's left a really big hole for a pretty important crop in the province. So this person will have, I believe it's a 70% research appointment, so that will be the breeding program. and 30% teaching appointment. So they'll be actively involved in training graduate students to become plant breeders, teaching undergraduate students in crop science, plant breeding and genetics. And their research program, they'll have available to them, of course they'll apply for external funding to support the program, but they'll have available truly incredible resources. We have a great research farm at the Elora Research Station, excellent plot scale equipment for running breeding programs, access to molecular genetics laboratories, controlled environment growth facilities, greenhouses. In the case of winter wheat, good controlled environment facilities for testing things like cold tolerance. Just really all the physical resources needed to run a really first-class, world-class program in wheat breeding.
How important is wheat in Ontario, and how important is wheat at the University of Guelph?
Wheat comes in at 1 million acres, which puts it's third amongst the cash crops in the province, and there's nothing else that's even close to that. So it really is it's a major crop. Of course, it's a really important component of the corn, soybean, wheat rotation that's so common in the province. So super important cash crop. It's something that we can't neglect. Winter wheat is really integral to crop production in this part of the world. And because our climate's fairly unique compared to the rest of Canada, we have different needs in terms of adaptation of varieties, in terms of disease and pest tolerance. Those answers aren't going to come from Western Canada. We really need to look after this really important crop ourselves. This position at the University of Guelph will be collaborating with agronomists, OMAF personnel, AFC scientists, to support winter wheat as such an important component of our cropping systems here.